Hi guys, and welcome to the third round of the fictional KartKraft Championship. Today we'll be racing at the North Texas Karters circuit, which is a little rough and ready, but it's quite tight and twisty and has some seriously fun corners. So let's start our racing, shall we? So originally we weren't scheduled to run the North Texas circuit, but as I've got it installed, I swapped out one of the duplicate tracks for this instead. So as ever, we're starting 12th on the grid. Let's see how far we can move up. I find taking the outside line around here gives me a better run at the AI. But in this case, well, that guy just made a mistake. In this case, it's only gained me a position or two. There's a little bit of a aggressive lunge through there as well. If they were human, I would definitely be being cussed. Bit of an off-track moment there. But around here, the grass seems to have quite a bit of grip. These curbs are lethal, though they're very big. They tend to throw you off. Very fast through this banked section, which seems to catch the AI out. Take a move yet, I'm just lining it up, making sure that I can keep as close as possible through this chicane, which is pretty fast. And that gives me a run up on the inside of number 1 in here. I won't be able to get 20, but I should be able to get 1. Unfortunately, one's still on my outside, which is now my inside for here. And I've lost a lot of pace through this corner. Unfortunate. I do find that final corner in VR very difficult to take. In a flat screen, I can take it easily, so I think it's just something to do with the perspective. Interestingly, I'm about half a second a lap faster in KartKraft in 2D mode than I am VR. And I'm definitely better through traffic with a flat screen. I think that's partly because of the fact that things like radar are easier to spot on a flat screen than it is in VR. So I'm now in 7th place. I'm taking those two guys. And there's a little bit of a cut in footage there. That's just because I had to pause the game, deal with some family emergency. I'm catching 6th place pretty handily. Car 79. I also notice in VR you get a lot more frame drop than you do in flat screen. It's a lot easier on the hardware, which is understandable. You know, play this with Sella Corsa Competizione, fine. Then we've got 6th place. Both are on the same engine, which is Unreal 4. Got a bit of a gap to 5th place, but we've got pace, so we might be able to catch them, and I can see 4th place just ahead. Got a chance of some decent points today. It's at 43.4. I've done much faster laps than that before, so I can maybe get a couple of clean laps. I should be able to catch these guys up. As with the rest of the series, this is a 10-lap race. These laps are a little bit longer than the previous round. They're definitely catching the going from as we keep things tidy. Had a scruffy couple of early laps, which hasn't really helped. starting to put some pressure on now. Pretty handy lap time, mid 42. And they're definitely slow through that section. The AI generally is faster through here than... Oh, not this guy. Holding me up a little bit. Not a bad run out of that corner for me. Usually pretty scruffy through there. Another mid 42, despite being held up. See if I can get number 11 on the inside. Easy. Can carry more speed through these early corners because of the banking, and then it flattens out on these other corners, which kind of means you lose the back end a little more. Can't lean on the kart quite so much. These tall curbs, you want to ride them, but you can't because the ground clearance isn't enough on the kart. Up to 5th place. Can't see the karts ahead of this guy, so 5th might be the best we can do. Which we'll have to see. Definitely going to get run on 4 at some point. Maybe here. No, maybe not. It's a bit too tight on this corner. Good. Let that go a bit wider. I definitely have him there. I've lost traction here, so I'm going to have to do all that work all over again. Still a mid 42. Oh, adventurous dive. Actually my best first sector as well, which is pretty cool considering that was an overtake. It looks like my optimal time is a 41, which is kind of what I was seeing in practice. Fast Lammers has won the race. And that was a low 42, and I think the fastest lap of the race as well on the final lap. Awesome. 42.05. Not quite on the podium. We can see here that we definitely had the fastest lap of the race. We had some decent pace. We're on to race 2 now. Let's see if we can go one better and get on the podium. And we have a different leader. It's Bart Price at the minute. If he keeps in the lead, we might have a good chance. Well, in a few positions, had to take to the grass a little bit. We're in 8th place right now. Almost lost traction there, trying to keep it tight. Still in 8th. Ooh, it's slowed me down a lot. Those guys having their incidents, but I'm into 5th. So that means there's going to be a lot less need to overtake a lot of karts later on, which is good. And we can still see the leaders. We'll be a few seconds down the road. There's a huge advantage to being first on the track for the first lap. You don't have all of the traffic holding you up. And that's why you end up losing at least 3 or 4 seconds to the front guys. I've definitely got a run on 75 here. Nice. 4th place. That's matching what we did in the first race so far, as long as we don't fall off the track. It's a late 42, we can do better than that. kart just in front of us. I do tend to find that you can quite heavily cheat this chicane and just keep it flat on the floor. I tend to lift for the first corner on the chicane and then just floor it. Seems to be pretty quick around here. And these corners I take very gingerly. Could probably make up a good half second by taking those with a bit more speed, but right now I find that if I do that I'm going to fall off the track. I could take this one corner a bit tighter as well. Yeah, you don't lose too much by missing the apex in these corners just because they're banked. You can keep the throttle down anyway. I tried to run the kart with a bit more of a tendency to understeer now, because I suffer a lot with the oversteer in this game. High 42 again. Come on. Definitely push harder than that. We're up with 96. Sometimes just travelling a little slower helps you with performance on this track. Less is more. You get too greedy on the throttle, you lose traction, and then you lose a lot of speed. Always slow through here, as I said, and see how much time I lose out to the guy in front. This first sector I am just so much faster than the AI. I really slow through here. You have to be careful on that corner, and if you get too high on the banking, it flattens out, and then you just fall straight off the track. Which almost happened to me there. Yeah, definitely making inroads on 96 again. As long as I can keep it clean, we might have a chance. Oh, come on. I got a little bit better exit there, still not as good as the AI. Another late 42, so we're definitely consistently in the 42s. Oh, there we go, straight past him here. Still close on the inside, giving him a bit of space, still on the inside. There we go, go for it. He didn't have to give me the chicane, but the AI tends to. Nice. I can't see us catching anyone else though, because we are a long way up the road from second place, but we're on the podium. We can be happy with that. Now into the early 42s. I think that's the fastest lap of the race so far. This track doesn't have quite the detail of some of the others, and it's listed as a third-party mod. But I love the circuit. It's really fun to drive. So you can forgive some of the sparse scenery. Another late 42. Just shows you how much time you lose if you break traction. It's pretty much a guaranteed half second straight away. A bit on the grass there. Don't know whether we should have a track limits warning. Probably, given the number of off tracks I've had. Early 42, fastest lap of the race, on the final lap now. Just going to cruise home, I think, to 3rd place. We've caught the other podium contenders. We're just so far down the road that we're never going to get close to them. We can at least see them on track now. So Remo's won this race, which is a different driver. That's the one I normally see on the podium, so that's good for me. And we have again the fastest lap of the race. And we're on the podium this time with our boring green colours. Yay! And some decent pace. We're now joint first in the championship. It's very close between the top 4. And there are still 4 races left to go. 2 rounds. It's going to be pretty tight. So if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.